Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating, kind of complex intersection of megachurch dynamics, personal grief, and institutional power. We're going to walk through a highly documented sequence of events surrounding one of the largest Christian television ministries in the entire world, the Daystar Television Network, and the seriously debated role of prominent marriage pastor Jimmy Evans. To really wrap our heads around the structural questions the story raises, we have to look closely at the timeline and the documented record.
Okay, let's dive straight into this. She is the voice of God to you. Just let that sink in for a second. That single quote, heard over 500,000 times in an authenticated leaked audio recording, is the absolute flashpoint of this entire controversy. It was spoken by Jimmy Evans to the son of Daystar founder Joni Lamb, and it establishes incredibly high stakes right out of the gate. I mean, how does a globally recognized pastor, someone who spent 40 years teaching biblical accountability, end up in a private meeting telling a grown man that his mother is the literal voice of God to him? Well, to answer that objectively, we've got to look at the timeline.
Section 1. A rapid sequence of events. To truly understand the fallout, aim the massive systemic questions that have erupted across Christian media, we have to look at how incredibly fast all of this happened, because the sequence itself is the story here. In November 2021, Daystar co-founder Marcus Lamb passes away. Just 60 days later, in January 2022, Christian counselor Doug Weiss files for divorce from his wife of 30 years, Lisa. By March 2023, Jimmy Evans is right there on Daystar's national broadcast, publicly validating Doug Weiss's divorce and announcing Doug's engagement to the widowed Joni Lamb. And then, by June 2023, Evans is personally officiating their wedding. As the source material points out over and over, Evans was centrally involved at virtually every single stage of this rapid transition.
And this brilliantly illustrates the starkly contrasting narratives that honestly shocked a lot of viewers. On one hand, we have Doug Weiss on Daystar back in 2019, describing his then-wife Lisa as having the purest heart I've ever met. But then, fast forward to 2023, and you have Jimmy Evans validating Doug's divorce on national television, explicitly stating Doug was abandoned and emotionally abused. What investigative reporters documented here is that Evans reached this conclusion and broadcasted it to millions without ever formally consulting Lisa Weiss to actually hear her side of the story.
Section 2. Debating biblical divorce grounds. So, you might be wondering, how exactly was this rapid union justified on a major Christian network? Well, that brings us to the really deep theological debates surrounding biblical grounds for divorce, which quickly became a central issue for Daystar's global audience. The sources highlight completely differing theological perspectives here. Jimmy Evans utilized a framework sometimes called the 3 A's: adultery, abuse, and abandonment. He interprets scriptural references to an unbeliever to include a spouse who is emotionally damaging. Critics, however, pointed heavily to traditional, strict interpretations of scripture that limit divorce solely to physical infidelity. Furthermore, sources contrast Evans' view directly with the official policy of Gateway Church. That's the very church where Evans formerly pastored. Their policy clearly states they won't counsel divorce, but will instead seek to restore every marriage, believing no relationship is beyond repair.
Now, meanwhile, as Evans was actively counseling Joni Lamb behind the scenes, another pretty significant event occurred. In July 2022, Daystar abruptly canceled a highly rated, long-running prophecy show called End of the Age. Days later, it was replaced by Jimmy Evans' newly launched End Times content, utilizing a remarkably similar website domain. The network provided absolutely no public explanation for replacing a top-rated paying client with Evans' new programming, precisely during the period he was serving as Joni's key spiritual advisor.
Section 3. The July 11th meeting.
All right, this brings us to what is really the climax of the story, a private family meeting that ultimately became a matter of public record, sending absolute shockwaves through the evangelical world and bringing all these structural issues to a boiling point. Look at this number, 31 days. Exactly 31 days after Jimmy Evans officiated the wedding between Joni Lamb and Doug Weiss, Jonathan and Susie Lamb, Joni's son and daughter-in-law, declined to read a viewer comment on air that praised the new marriage. They asked for 24 hours to just pray about it, stating they didn't want to publicly affirm something they had deep theological concerns about. Well, that simple request for 24 hours triggered an immediate, intensely heated confrontation.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the exact language used in that room, which was captured on authenticated audio. Evans impartially framed Jonathan's reluctance not as a mere disagreement, but as deep spiritual rebellion. He actually told Jonathan, it's a spirit, your conscience is an idol, asking for 24 hours to pray is the sin of witchcraft. Within the megachurch dynamic, this is a fascinating example of how pastoral authority can be utilized to enforce institutional compliance, quite literally equating personal conscience with idolatry.
And you can really see the severity of the institutional and family breakdown right here. In that exact same meeting, the audio documents Joni Lamb speaking these severe words to her daughter-in-law Susie, while Evans also accused Susie of being driven by an evil spirit. And during this very meeting, Susie Lamb was fired from the network on the spot.
Section 4. Questions of institutional accountability. Let's pivot from the specific family drama to the much broader structural fallout, because ultimately this explainer is about what happens when institutional power goes unchecked. The leaked audio generated over 500,000 views and widespread viewer backlash. Following this, Jimmy Evans announced he was stepping down from Exo Marriage, the massive marriage ministry he founded way back in 1993, to pivot full-time to his End Times Prophecy ministry. However, he transitioned without ever addressing the specific public allegations of spiritual abuse or explaining the rather extreme words he used in that July 11th meeting. The silence itself became a major part of the documented story.
To look at this objectively, we absolutely have to present both sides of the coin clearly. The defense strongly argues that Jimmy Evans acted from sincere, genuine conviction. He was a lifelong friend of the family, simply trying to resolve a painful, messy conflict in what was supposed to be a private pastoral setting. On the flip side, the fierce critique argues that Evans weaponized his spiritual authority to enforce institutional loyalty over actual accountability, actively sidelined a Christian ex-wife, and labeled a young man's conscience as witchcraft just to protect the network CEO.
Which naturally leads us to ask, what does accountability actually look like? You know, when a culture develops where proximity to power and personal loyalty to a founder completely override ordinary mechanisms of checks and balances, how is authority held responsible? This is the central question millions of viewers of Christian media empires are now asking themselves as they take a hard look at the structures of the ministries they support.
We're going to end on this final, pretty provocative thought. For 40 years, Jimmy Evans built a globally recognized ministry teaching covenant, transparency, and biblical accountability. Yet, the documented sequence of events at Daystar leaves us with this exact question. Will leaders be accountable to the word they teach or only to the institutions they built? It's a huge question that challenges not just one man, but an entire system. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this structured look has given you some solid clarity on the sequence